Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So the iPhone 11 has been out for almost like 2 months now, which is pretty crazy. And I'm still doing these camera comparisons, bro. They never stop. But continuing on with them, I wanted to compare the iPhone 11's camera to the iPhone 8 camera. And I've already done iPhone 11 versus 8 Plus, 7 Plus, and so many other comparisons. And I've already done a full comparison between these two, every other aspect except the camera. So if you want to look at that one, go ahead and click that first link down in the description. That'll take you to that video if you want to see like an all-around comparison, including a speed comparison. But this one, we're only going to be specifically looking at the camera qualities between them. Now with the iPhone 11, the weird thing is that they do kind of lack some features for the older phone. So like there's no portrait mode, no night mode per se, but you can get those things with the jailbreak, which I've just done tutorials on. And if you're on an iPhone 8, you can do those, which is super cool and a huge advantage for that you don't necessarily have on an iPhone 11, which is kind of fun. But that's neither here nor there. But the iPhone 8 on the back has a single 12 megapixel camera. The iPhone 11 has two 12 megapixel sensors with the extra ultra wide sensor, which is super cool. But I went ahead and took photos of different scenes and all those things. So let's go ahead and see which one is the better camera. And without a doubt, I'll definitely tell you the iPhone 11 is the better camera, all around. But I'm sure the iPhone 8 will still hold up pretty well too. So on the left will be the iPhone 8 photos. On the right will be the iPhone 11 photos. So looking at the first one, you can see not a lot of differences really. I mean, yes, the iPhone 11's probably looks a little bit better overall, but I honestly don't see that big of a difference between them. They look almost exactly the same. The green on the grass looks almost identical as well. Maybe it's a little bit better on the iPhone 11, but honestly, if you showed me both photos, I would probably have assumed they're both the same exact photo. So to me, there's really not that big of a difference. The second photo is, again, not that good of a photo. I keep taking the same photo, I don't know why, but as you can see with the iPhone 11's photo, in my opinion, it does look a little bit better. Like, it's not even that much better in my opinion, but just like a little bit. The black on that camera lens seems to just kind of pop out a little bit better, and it seems to be a little bit less shaky and a little bit less noisy than the iPhone 8's photo. Between these two, there's really not a clear, better photo because they're both pretty bad, but I do think the iPhone 11, if I had to choose one, I'd probably choose the iPhone 11's photo in this comparison specific one. Now moving on to the third photo, this one is also kind of weird because it's more of the same really. There's not a lot going on with it. It's just the camera lens on the bottom or in the center. But what I can tell you is, in my opinion, the biggest differentiating factor I can see between these is that if you look at directly at the center where that glass part is, like outside of that circular little glass orb in the middle, I would probably tell you that the darker aspect of the iPhone 11's photo makes the photo look a little bit better in my opinion versus the iPhone 8's photo. I don't think either of these photos are like way better than the other one, but I do kind of like how the iPhone 11's photo, the darker image or the darker aspect of it does kind of stick out a little bit better and just makes it look like that image is better overall. The iPhone 8's photo is good, it's not bad at all, and really if the iPhone 11's photo here was a 10 out of 10, the iPhone 8's photo would probably be like a 9.5 out of 10. There's not that big of a difference between these at all, so that kind of covers that aspect of it. Moving on to the next photo, this one is actually of the Rubik's Cube, and I actually like these photos a lot on both these phones. I think this will, demonstrates the color accuracy of them and even just showcases how great these cameras are. Now on the left on the iPhone 8, I think that photo looks really good. I don't really have any complaints about it. It really takes in really everything I wanted to look at in a photo. The colors seem pretty good, and the iPhone 11's is more of the same, it looks like almost the exact same photo. I don't notice that big of a difference between those, so that's probably a good sign in my opinion. So with this one, I'll probably tell you it's a tie. Now this next photo, again, more of the same. It's just an iPhone 5S, I think this is, and it's just the back of it. And I'm trying to see if there's major differences between these, but honestly, I just can't see that many differences, and that's probably why I'm speeding through these photos, because I don't have a lot to kind of go at and kind of a lot to compare. They both look almost like the same exact photo in my opinion. Maybe the white on the iPhone 11 pops out a little bit more. These lighting conditions were pretty good, and I forgot to say this in the beginning but when I take these photos, I don't let it I don't tap on the camera and let it focus on whatever. I let it automatically focus on whatever it's focusing on, and then I take the photo once I think it's ready. I don't go and try to make it focus on anything. That I just take them at the same location and go on. And this photo, it could have focused on any different parts of the iPhone 5S, but it seems like it focused on the same thing. And in some cases, I'll be honest, I think maybe even the iPhone 8 photo looks a little bit better. So that's kind of going on that photo. Now this next one, it's kind of demonstrating portrait mode on the iPhone 11 versus, I guess the bokeh effect as good as you can get it on the iPhone 8. And honestly, I think the iPhone 8's photo is kind of good too, but like the iPhone 11's photo is probably better. I do like how the image kind of is popping more on the iPhone 11's photo, which makes it look a little bit cooler. But ultimately, again, not a huge clear winner. I couldn't even tell portrait mode was on the iPhone 11 in my opinion. Maybe I should have taken a better background or something like that, but that's kind of that. Nothing too crazy going on there. This next photo is just one of like a windowsill. Again, both kind of two different photos. Some people might like the iPhone 11's photo. Some people might like the iPhone 8's photo. In my opinion, I kind of do like the iPhone 11's photo here. Nothing too crazy, you know, it's kind of like seamless. It doesn't really pop out too much, but it's kind of on the cooler side. So I think I personally do like the iPhone 11's photo in this example. So again, these photos aren't too crazy. There's nothing insanely about them, but you might be able to see that the warmer colors usually tend to be on the iPhone 8 side, where the cooler colors tend to be on the iPhone 11 side. Now this next photo actually showcases something super interesting. Now we were outside, it was like pretty much lighting conditions were as great as they can get, and look how the iPhone 8 interprets the snow, how warm it is, versus how the iPhone 11 interprets the snow. And without a doubt, the iPhone 11 here is way more accurate. I'm surprised that the iPhone 8's photo looks the way that it does, because look, it looks so much dirtier, it looks so much noisier, and it looks like it was like almost like 7 p.m. or something. Like it was like darker in the day, but it was probably like noon and the sun was out. So I'm not really too sure how. And if you look right in the center, I mean, look how both these phones determine what is white and what's not. You know, that's how these phones interpret the whiteness. And even the leaf looks so much more in detail on the iPhone 11. The top leaf looks so much more in detail on the iPhone 11 as well. And I find that really interesting. You know, if you didn't compare them side by side, you probably wouldn't have noticed that big of a difference. But after I put them side by side, I was able to see that. So without a doubt right there, I'll probably give the edge to the iPhone 11. And this next photo actually showcases the wooding pattern or whatever this is. And that split line in the middle that demonstrates the difference between the iPhone 11s and the iPhone 8s. Some people might like the iPhone 8s, some people might like the iPhone 11s. And from based off what I could see, I do think that the iPhone 11's photo seems a little bit lighter than what it was in real life. I feel like the iPhone 8 actually has a better looking photo. It looks more like cinematic and things. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the iPhone 11 is more accurate now that I'm thinking about it. But I do kind of like the iPhone 8s. It looks a little bit more like, you know, cinematic, like I stated, a little bit warmer. In this case, I think the warming is fine. It looks pretty cool. Looks like a filter was added on it. But the iPhone 11 is probably more accurate. So that's kind of going on with that one. This next one is just the leaves and the flower pattern that I usually do. Nothing too crazy, but again, I would probably say with even including that snow and everything, look how much more detail the snow is on the iPhone 11. With the iPhone 8, it's not really in detail. It looks kind of like one big mush. You can't really tell the difference. But on the iPhone 11, I can see a lot more of those snowy patterns, which is really cool. And speaking about those snowy patterns, look at this photo. I mean, this one showcases that leaf, and with that snow, you can see like almost every single snow particle. It's like crazy. Versus the iPhone 8s, you can't really see that much snow. Like you can see the snow, but you can't see like the snow particles, which, you know, some people might like, some people might not, but like it's a cool feature, and I think that's kind of demonstrates the detail in the iPhone 11's photo. And this next one really showcases the ultra-wide sensor on the iPhone 11. This is taken at the same exact location, same exact distance, and look how much more of a photo you can get on the iPhone 11, whereas on the iPhone 8, pretty standard. I mean, it looks like you're super close into that photo, but with that ultra-wide sensor, look how much more you can get into that photo, you know what I mean? It's like literally insane. And speaking about those snow particles, even this one, I mean, it's a pretty bad image. I mean, I took a really close-up image of a shot of the leaves, and again, look how much more in detail that snow is on the iPhone 11. Even though it's a bad photo, look how much more in detail that is versus the iPhone 8's photo, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty insane stuff. This next one showcases some nails or whatever these things are, screws, and I couldn't really notice that big of a difference between them. Maybe the iPhone 11's is better, but I don't think here like one is a clear winner. They both almost look exactly the same. So again, this one, I guess it's a tie, but there's not really a huge clear winner in my opinion. Now these next things are actually the video, and I try to see some crazy differences. I couldn't really see too many from the first jump, but as you can see, again, the iPhone 8's photo, or the video for that matter, is a little bit warmer. It's definitely on the warmer side. The grass, the greens, the whatever, they look a little bit warmer too. I feel like on the iPhone 11 it looks clear, but on top of that, the image and just everything looks a lot more vibrant. It doesn't come off as something that's too warm or anything. When you really look at that snow and look side by side, you can see how much better the snow looks on the iPhone 11 than on the iPhone 8. It just looks so dirty-ish. Not even dirty, but it looks so weird on the iPhone 8s, whereas on the iPhone 11s, it looks so much cooler, so much smoother, and so much like less noisier than compared to the iPhone 8. So what I can tell you is, and to kind of sum up this whole entire thing, without a doubt, I say this every time. I do think the iPhone 11's camera is way better. Not even way better, it's noticeably better throughout almost all these photos that I've looked at. I mean, even the portrait mode ones, all these things, like they overall do look better on the iPhone 11. But like I've stated before, I think the iPhone 8's camera still has a lot going for it. I don't think it's really like messing up anytime soon. And if you own it, just because you're missing out on portrait mode or night mode or whatever the case is, I wouldn't necessarily go and upgrade for those features. Again, you can get those with a jailbreak if you really, really want them. But again, like they're very good camera sensors overall. The 11, as you guys know, is the better one, but I still think the 8 still has a lot going for it too. So that kind of showcases a little bit. I know these comparisons are the greatest, most inconclusive things ever, but these are real world examples. I don't think anybody's going to be going out taking professional photos on their phones for the majority of you, but in real world use in different lighting conditions and everything, this is kind of the differences you'll see or the upgrade you will get going from an iPhone 8 to an iPhone 11. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it would mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.